Hi guys, welcome back to Rancor Exotics, and today we're going to be going through my collection of ball pythons. Now I do have another reptile species, and those are viper geckos, and I'm going to be going over them in a video that's coming out pretty soon. So I don't have that many snakes in my collection. I've been in the hobby for I think since I've been 12 years old, so that's probably around 15 years now. So I've been in the hobby for quite a bit. It's just that I've never really had the opportunity to have a wide variety of reptile species. As you can see, I don't have very much space to work with. I'm hoping that that'll change someday, but as it stands now, I try to make the most out of the little I have. So though I don't have that many ball pythons and I don't have thousands of snakes behind me, I dip my toe in the community quite a bit, and I kind of know what's going on. And I also tend to go for quality when I do pick up reptiles, because quite simply, if I'm only gonna have a couple, I might as well have something that's good, right? So let's start off with my first ball python. So this is Cream, my Purple Passion Calico female. Now she is the first official ball python I was able to buy for myself. My brother is the person that got me into ball pythons, and of course all the ball pythons I took care of before this gal, they were his. So this gal here is running around, I say 6 years old. She is 2.5 kilograms. She is a pretty heavy gal. She is beautiful. She is a Calico Mojave Phantom. No recessives or hets in her, but she is absolutely beautiful. Now, she was the first girl that laid a clutch for me. She laid 4 good eggs and 1 slug. However, because there was a problem with my incubator, unfortunately all those eggs didn't make it. As things happen, that was my first clutch, and really it happens, right? She, however, did get egg bound. She was able to expel the egg by herself. Unfortunately, a lot of the vets in my area really weren't equipped to handle that situation. So I soaked her, massaged the egg and all that good stuff, and she was able to expel it, which really did leave a pretty sour taste in my mouth. After all, pairing, waiting for the eggs, preparing the incubator, all for basically naught, and leaving this gal with a health problem. So it really left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm hoping that that's a just I'm a victim of coincidence and chance. So she is going to get the 2022 year off. She laid the eggs on 2021. For my collection, I'm really going to go. If a snake lays a clutch of eggs 1 year, she'll have the next year off, and then so that way she'll have a whole year to recuperate her weight and maybe gain on a couple of extra grams. I really don't want to push my gals too much. Really, I just want this to be a hobby, and I want them to pay for their lunch, but that's about it. Now this is, do I have any breeding plans for this gal? Now, since she was the first gal I picked up, I really didn't have any plans with her. She is Purple Passion. She lies in the Bell complex. So whatever I breed her to, she's either for sure going to have Mojave or Phantom, which I think is pretty good because I can tell Phantom and Mojave apart fairly well. Mojave being more evident, Phantom being a little harder to spot. And the Calico in her, I'm really hoping it's a high expression Calico. She does have some beautiful, beautiful white sides. So I'm hoping that she has high expression Calico. I, of course, should have asked the breeder I got her from for pictures of the Calico line that was used. which was on me. Now, I did pick her up at an expo. If I would have picked her up online, that would have been a question I would have asked and would have really educated my decision of whether I bought her or not, if I would have tried to buy her today. Of course, me back then saw her and I was kind of flabbergasted. I really wanted her, so I picked her up. It was not a last minute decision or an impromptu buy. I really went to this expo looking to pick up a ball python. Since it was going to be the first one I was going to take care of, I wanted it to look pretty cool. And yes, she is. I also noticed that she has like this iridescence on her head, which is pretty cool. She is the snake that I really learned a lot from. I got her to test the waters whether or not I would like to have a ball python collection. Of course, she unfortunately was the crash course dummy. The heat mat that I used on her malfunctioned. The probe that I used for her that I used for her thermostat also malfunctioned, and it led to her having a bad burn. You can hardly see it. There's a bad belly burn. It's right around this area here. Of course, several trips to the vet, antibiotics, daily soaks and creams. She is perfectly right back where she needs to be. She, of course, got this little nubby tail. It's hard to show you guys because she's got such a grip on me. But yeah, she has like this nubby tail. And that's on me. It's a good lesson to learn. Will I get rid of her in the future after my collection grows, or I want something more expensive? And no, I won't. I'll probably keep her just because she is the first, and the first is always special. Now, she is a foodie demon. She'll throw herself out of the tub to eat, which is something I love in ball pythons. All right, on to the next one. All right, and next up is my gal here called Deluxe. She is a spot nose pastel clown. Of course, she is very beautiful. So I got her from RD Designs, I think, off Morph Market. This snake really kind of is what started my direction, what I wanted to get into the clown project. I saw Kavelka, now Canova, really getting into the spot nose. I saw spot nose and clown really mixed well with almost anything. So I really wanted to get spot nose in my collection, and her having pastel really didn't affect my decision at all because she's straight up beautiful. But of course, the next couple of snakes all have pastel, and that's something I really tried to avoid and will avoid in the future. I have enough pastel in my stock, so the pastel I can do without now, but she is just a perfect example. I think she's around 1,800 grams, so she is gonna go this year. I'm pairing her up, so she has the proper weight, she has the appetite, she has perfect health. Thanks to cream, I kind of dialed it in with my thermostats to have an actual backup on my thermostats. So she is in perfect health. She is not too hungry. She'll eat half the times I feed once every 5 days. She feeds about once every other time I offer. So she eats about once a week to once every 10 days is her average. Now, her spot nose really is I'm gonna be talking about this a little bit later, but spot nose in her was will probably get in the way of a couple things, even though I got her specifically for it. But that's a conversation for another video. So, spot nose pastel, absolutely beautiful. All right, next up is my gal Chocolate. She is a Mojave clown. Very beautiful, very nice. She is a straight Mojave clown, even though I call her Chocolate. There is a chocolate morph. I call her chocolate because when I got her, she was darker brown. So I'm like, that looks like chocolate. And I love me chocolate, as you can see. Now, she really was a pickup at an expo. I was looking to pick up a solid clown female with really any gene except for pastel in them. And at my local expo, there was nothing. I was really hoping for almost any gene, and she anything but pastel, because I already have so much pastel in my collection. So I was really looking for something, and then on an odd table at the very end of the expo, I found this gal, and I said, she's coming home with me. Of course, I didn't really have to barter very much. It was the last day of the expo, and the breeder was more than happy to unload her, and I was happy to take the bait. Now, she is around 1,700 grams. She is going to be going this year. I don't have that many ball pythons. This year I'm expecting 3 clutches, one from Deluxe, one from this gal, and one from another female that I'm gonna get to at the very end. So yeah, beautiful Mojave clown. I would like to add GHI to my collection to specifically pair to this gal, but we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna be adding any type of bell complex to this gal. I don't think I'm gonna be breeding her to anything with a bell, simply because I don't want white clowns. Of course, I have videos, which is the reason why I'm making this video, to kind of document and to add credibility if I ever do sell something like a white clown or a bell complex clown. But I don't think I'm gonna be doing that. I think it'd be too much of a waste. I think I'm probably gonna pair her up with probably a GHI wet stripe, something else that'll complement the really nice browns on her. Alright, so that's the Mojave clown. Alright guys, next up is my gal Papaya. She is a pastel clown, and she was the very first clown I got. She is probably what set my direction and which recessive I wanted to get into. I was really not sure of whether I should get into tri-stripe, puzzle, or clown. I'm really not into pieds, unfortunately, though they look pretty cool, and I don't knock anybody that has them. I just don't really like pieds. Now, pastels and clowns, or dime a dozen, they're everywhere, but I think she's beautiful, obviously. First clown in my collection. She is right around 1,200 grams. She is not gonna go for me this year. She'll probably go next year. She just started picking up her food. She didn't eat for around 3 or 4 months straight. Kind of stressed me out. But the last month she started picking up her eating habits, which is awesome. Now, I think I'm just going to keep her just because she's one simple codon pastel with a clown. So if I breed any powerhouses to her, it won't make too much of a jumbled mess with her offspring. So I think she's probably gonna stick around for a little longer, simply because she's a little simple. So that's the pastel clown. Alrighty, and this guy here, or this gal, is a leopard nuclear blast het clown. She is a powerhouse. Much like the mitochondria, there's a lot going on with her. So I picked her up because she has a slew of different genes that I want in my collection. I already have leopard, butter, pastel, fire. She has pinstripe in her. I love pinstripe clowns, though they're a little too low pattern for me. I really do like them simply because of the color and the contrast they have. And she's had clowns, so she'll fit perfectly in my project. Now, she is right around 1,200 grams. She had the same issue as Papaya, my pastel clown gal. She really didn't like to eat very much in the beginning, and much like Papaya, around the same time they started picking up their eating habits. So She'll probably go for me next year, which is perfect with the rotations of snake I'm having. So this gal here really is reduced pattern, much like any pinstripe. Her yellows on the side are very mellow, and on the top, when she was younger, she had more pronounced spotting, but now it's becoming more and more muted. That's what happens when you add butter into pinstripe. However, she does have these beautiful eyelashes on her. Yeah, so that's her key feature. I think is her eye bands there, and she's gonna add a lot of different variation to my breeding projects. I'm pretty sure when she lays a clutch of eggs and I get to cut them open after they pip, it'll probably be like Christmas Day, because I'm not real sure what I'm gonna be getting, since she just has so much going on with her. Yeah, so perfectly healthy, very beautiful female leopard nuclear blast heck clown gal. Alrighty, and this here is my super pastel desert ghost Enchi gal. I got her off of Straight Fire, off Morph Market. She is a beautiful example of a desert ghost. There are different lines of desert ghosts. There's some that are add like a whitish xanthic finish to desert ghost, and then there's other desert ghosts that bring out more yellow, very vibrant. This gal is the latter. She is very vibrant. Now, I got her simply because of Desert Ghost. I saw where the market was kind of going, and I said, this gal is I need something like this in my collection, simply because I can mix something with her, and mix something else with them, and hopefully get Desert Ghost clowns. Now, of course, I don't want to buy a snake simply because of her babies is what I want. I don't believe in that. I think if you're gonna get a snake, I think you have to buy a snake that you can say that you would keep that animal regardless of whether or not they can breed. Now, this gal is super beautiful. Her patterning, her color, that I really don't like Enchi in my clowns all that much. However, she really changed my mind with that. The pattern, the color. Desert Ghost is really where it's at. I mean, I love clown because of the patterning and the head stamps, but man, she sells the whole package. So if if someone asked me that I can no longer have clowns, that I needed another morph to replace, Desert Ghosts would all the way. Of course, there's other recessives that I really want to get into. However, right now they're kind of out of price range. Now, this gal here, her name is Vendetta, because when I got her, she absolutely hated me. I was not comfortable putting her anywhere near my face. I still kind of am not. However, I've worked with her. I put a lot of hours into holding her over a period of time, not all at once. Don't want to stress her out too much. But she's really calmed down. She's still high strung and high energy, but now she doesn't whip around and try to bite my hands. And I did shed quite a bit of blood in order to get her like this. So she is going to be the key component in making some beautiful double hets, double het clown desert ghosts. I'm probably going to keep a lot of those females back in order to advance my desert ghost clown project. Now again, she is very beautiful. The patterning on her, the color is still as vibrant as when I first got her. She is currently at 1,800 grams, so she is going for me this season. Now, the three gals I just showed you guys, the spot nose pastel clown, the Mojave clown, and this desert ghost gal are all going to be being paired up to the same male. I'm going to show you in a little bit. So that's going to be the three clutches I'm expecting for this season. Okay guys, and last but not least is my man, my mean squeeze. This guy sprinkles my Pastel Batman male. Now this guy is he is an absolute beauty. When I picked him up, I saw he had pastel. I really didn't want pastel because I really have, as you can see, I have more than enough pastel in my collection. But I saw him and he kind of stole my heart, and the breeder stole my wallet. So this guy here is going to be, he paired up with the 3 gals I just presented. He is an absolute beauty. He's not too reduced. I'm hoping that a lot of the things I'm pairing up here aren't too reduced. I really like my high pattern clowns. I really love the patterning on Batmans, and I'm hoping that maybe I get a couple of snakes I don't have pastel, but have that leopard spot nose. Now I will be going into the spot nose to spot nose pairing. You probably can assume I did the pastel spot nose to this Batman. Both have spot nose, so I have the there's a chance that I'm gonna be making super spot noses that have a and super spot noses tend to have might have neurological issues. I'll talk to a little bit about that in another video that I will be producing soon. However, that pairing is probably only going to happen once, because that spot nose pastel gal is going to rest for a year, and probably by then I'm going to have the my second male that I'm planning to get for my collection. Now I love the Batman. I love the patterning. This guy is people say you can breed your males to your females, you know, at around 700 grams. I believe the bigger the better. Not power feeding a male to getting, you know, to huge proportions, but growing up your male for longer so they're more robust, bigger, they can produce more sperm, fertilize more eggs. So this guy here is he is about a year and a half years old, and he is right around 1200 grams. I think that's a perfect weight, and I think that's a perfect age to pair, simply because he's big enough, he isn't being crushed by the big girls. He can handle himself. He is more robust. This guy here eats while he breeds, so he'll probably swallow down a rat while he's locked with the gal. He is a pig. So even if even down the line, I'm probably going to keep him as a backup breeder, simply because I know that 100% of the time I've left him with a gal, he's always locked up, and that's something that you really need. So if something happens down the line to my store stud in the future, I know I can rely on this guy to get the job done. Yeah, and so that is most of my snakes. Now I did order much like snakes, I compare snakes to chips, right? You can't just have one Dorito, you need to have a handful of them, right? And one right after another. So I do have another ball python coming in the mail, and I saw her and I absolutely lost my mind, and I needed to have her. Now by the time this video goes up, I'll probably already have her, and she probably, hopefully, will have a couple meals in her already. So when I show her off, she won't be too stressed in front of the camera. And as always, have a good one, guys. Thank you for coming by and visiting. I will be talking about that super spot nose pairing in another video. If you have any comments or any other things you'd like to talk about, put them down in the comment section. My channel, I think, is small enough for me to roll on by and answer any questions or chat with you guys. And again, thanks for coming by and checking out my animals. Have a good one.